Evening everyone, day 25. This is our little assembly solution that we're going to be working through together. So first things first, you should be blocking out your screwed up body, part number 1, screwed up washer, part number 2, and screwed up spindle, part number 3. So that's the first thing we're going to do. I'm going to come run through my list, so open up number 22. Okay, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to block out the component without any of the dimensions turned on. So I'm going to use the W block function. Okay, I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, and output then that one, and then save. So that's sort of the first thing you do. You usually do that for the body, the spindle, and the washer. So I've already done that because I've already built the assembly drawing once. So after you've done that point, okay, you bring these components in. And what I like to do is I like to first put down a nice center line. Okay, 1 and 2. That's going to sort of form the basis of our structure. Now, we actually know that the body is 65 long, so I'm going to put that one in there. Okay, the washer is 15 mil long. Put that one in there. And then the spindle we're going to put in. Not really to a set distance. We know it's 110 long, so you can work out that bit afterwards. I'm going to come to the insert, and then I'm going to go to blocks from libraries, so to bring up the block down the side. Now, you might be able to pick it up on the recent tab. It depends on if you've used the blocks before. So if not, you can go to libraries. You can go to library, choose where you found it. So mine's on my desktop, so I've got body, spindle and washer there, so I can pull those through that way. So I'm going to bring in the body, that'll load it up, but because you blocked them, it should sit in your recent pile, which just means you can just basically drag them in rather than bring them in. So I'm going to link up the two on a midpoint, okay, like so. I'm going to bring my washer in, which doesn't quite sit on that point there, so what I'm going to do is just plop it down with my spindle, and I can just move these components afterwards. It's a good thing about using the move tool. So find a center point, link it up, attach, so it should all sit in my little groove, which it does. Now this one I obviously need to rotate, so RO, pick a base, just pick anywhere you want, like so, then move. And again, I want it latched onto the center point on the back. So most people might put it like on that, but realistically that's not technically an assembled component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is going to sit in my component by a set distance. So I don't know, let's do 40. Why not do 40? Like so. So it's got, 100. So it's got, sort of 70 odd sticking out. So that's that section done. So now I'm just going to turn off my center lines for the time being. I'm going to change these two to construction. Okay, along with that one. And I'm just going to turn those ones off. Don't want me that one. I need that one, don't I? Okay, I'm actually going to turn my center line off for a second. So before we do that process of just sort of destroying it, I'm just going to copy them all and just stick them up out of the way a second, just in case anything goes wrong. I've got a copy there, and I can now close my block editor down. So I'm going to explode all my blocks back into physical drawings, so I can pick individual lines like these ones. Okay, and all I'm going to do is trim out all the components I won't be able to see. So that'd be all of this, all of this. It will be everything in that section there, everything in that section there, everything in that section, like so. And then I can just go through and delete those components. So that'd be what I would basically see on my sort of drawing. So some of you might be thinking, well, where's the hatch gone? But actually what I've done is I've used the ones I made for the drawing. So you might just want to come in and put like a make it a bit bigger. So you might want to put like your hatch back in. like so, just to say it is nailed. So there's those ones functions in. If you ever think, oh, actually it's a bit big, you can actually just sort of resize it down a little bit. You can just pick on the points and move it around like a normal component as well, and then you can get the circle and you can sort of shrink it down if you think it is a bit too big. So there's that one. So what I actually did when I copied it, okay, I left the other ones up and there, and there's a sort of a good reason for that. I'm going to move that. Actually, what I'm going to do is offset it by I could actually just leave it where it is, I suppose. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce an exploded assembly drawing. So essentially, where I'm just going to offset by certain kind of distances. So that's going to be 15, 15, like so. And explode if you just shows them all in like a nice kind of format. So there's a lot going on down that end, I think. Like so. So it's like an exploded format, so you can see all the components in their entirety then. So there is no real dimensions on this apart from using leaders. So I'm just going to do an update on my leader. So I'm going to go into manage multi-leader styles. I'm just going to do a copy of my annotated one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to 2.5 so they're not massive. Break might be probably 2.2. Structure's fine, and the content I am going to want to do a block. So I'm going to do a circle block with a tag number in, scale 1, that's fine. So now I'm going to come into my leader. I want it at 1 to 1, so I'm just going to pick a point on my component. I did normally do 10, something like that. Oh, that's a bit low. That's a bit low actually, a lot low. So that's a bit better. Then I'm going to repeat that one for number 2. And number 3. Like so. So there's my sort of my tags, and I could actually do it for the same up here as well. And you could just set a line up as like as your dimensions if you like you want, just to keep it nice and neat. So that's sort of my 3 components, and now when I come into my page view, you might be thinking, well, you're not going to fit both of them in here, but this is where again we can use the multiple viewports. So I'm going to drop that one down there like so. Okay, like 2. And what I'm actually going to do for one of the first times is I'm going to actually drop my viewport all the way down like so, and what I'm going to actually do now is put in a second viewport in the top rectangle, and then what I can now do on here is do another 2 to 1 scale. Okay, so it's slightly off, so what I need to do is do 1.5 scale up the top like so. So I've got like a 2-page split now. Now I just need to come in. And when you do your leaders this way, I don't know why they do this. I think it's because they're annotative, but I'm just going to explode them so they don't keep disappearing. So now you can see them. Oh, so actually I can't do that on here. I need to do 1.5, don't I? So I've done 1.5. Actually, they're up quite high. So if I can now explode them, I can't move them about very easily now. So yeah, because I've moved them all, it's just not So again, pick a point. So, and just trim out the top ones then. And hopefully, enter to accept. Oh, there we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the only thing we've got left to do is put a little table list in, wherever you guys are happy with that. So I'm going to put mine up probably in a corner somewhere, or I could actually just shift my one all the way over there. Then on my page, I can then put a table. Okay, I only put it over the side. Just put parts list. Number 1. Body. Number 2 was the washer, and then number 3, which was the spindle. And then what I can do now is move that one again. Will that fit in down there? Okay, so I'm going to make it sort of fit down in the corner. So it works a bit like a standard kind of like little Excel table really. So you can move sort of loads of stuff around with it. Like so. So I can have a little parts list now. Probably should be in the top corner really, makes it look a bit more professional, but for this example it's all fine. And again you got an exploded view and a assemble view all together, so when you plot out it just looks really neat and clean, obviously as long as you turn your construction lines off. Preview, there we go, and then there's a nice little formatted assembly. So alright guys, excellent, that's another assembly done, day 25 over. Okay, tune in tomorrow for day 26 when we're into our final couple of days. So hopefully you've enjoyed it so far. Keep letting me know. Cheers, Em.